Welcome back to the Scatterpot podcast, where you might already notice if you're on the YouTube version, we got a new studio.
Yeah!
Upgrade.
Daniel, what's your seats like?
Just as bad as before, if not worse. I'm on a bed with a pillow for lumbar support and cardboard boxes as my back support. So
Yeah.
It's a tough life.
Yeah. So the reason why we're up in this sick, nasty room is because basement's currently getting painted. Fun. Painting is fun, right, guys?
Great time. Absolute blast.
Absolutely,
So,
yeah.
what's going on?
I'm just trying to screw up our white balance.
Canaan's currently sticking some kind of
A shaft
hole,
into
a shaft up onto a button on the wall.
That's gonna forever ruin our white balance. You can
I can see it literally.
Daniel,
On yours.
on the wall behind you, Daniel. It's just like, it's not like dramatic, but you can like see it.
Pulsing colors.
Yeah. Hold on.
It's currently a rave in here. Yeah.
The green is actually like the best because it's like it lights up the room pretty well.
All right. Well, I'm that fan. Without that fan, it gets hot in here.
Bless me.
All right.
This.
So, episode 22.
Yeah, we're 22.
Oh, jeez. I totally
20.
forgot. Anything past, like, 10 for
22.
Spanish.
Dude, it's really easy, actually.
Spanish
Okay.
is ridiculously easy with numbers. Once you get past the teens, it's just
The teens are probably like, because it goes like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and then 20, and then you just you count to 10.
Yeah.
And then you count to 10.
Too
And
bad
then
I
it's
remember nothing.
30. I don't remember 40.
I don't remember 40.
But who needs? No one in Mexico lives past 40.
Dang. Too true. Did you guys hear about that shooting?
El
Yes.
Paso.
Well,
Yes.
There was also that, I should clarify, the person who got shot and killed over at Kroger the other day.
Yeah.
Nice. Apparently,
I didn't hear about that one.
yeah, apparently the one off Rosebud,
Yeah.
they're,
Like the one right by my house over here.
no, back off 78.
Oh, okay. The other end of Rosebud.
Yeah. And there's some guy coming up from Florida or something.
Florida.
Coming up from Florida.
It's pronounced Florida.
Florida.
Low rider.
And a Florida man.
Florida man.
And he was like, they were searching for him for kidnapping or something, and they were Brazelton police, and shot him in literally the parking lot. There's a video from inside like one of the stores
That's awesome.
Yeah.
along there, and they were like, oh, and then you hear,
That's awesome.
dude, great.
Great.
But yeah, and then got shot like in the shoulder, and then died at the hospital. So
Dang.
that's
Weak.
that's a whole
Shoulder injury
life
died.
here. Dude, why couldn't you just use the first aid kit?
Dude.
Well, I mean,
I mean,
yeah,
kick
it's
goes
like,
to 100, dude.
dude, get
Shield
use a
pot.
bit. Yeah, I was about to say, where's your shields, bro?
So stupid.
Bro, idiot didn't put on his minis. It should have had a 50.
Dude, I mean,
Oh.
everyone knows since the dawn of time, the heart's in the foot.
Right.
Of course.
The heart's in the foot.
Just put a knife
Throw a
right
knife
there
right in the
yeah.
foot, you're done. We were driving back from,
That's
cause
right. You just came back from a trip.
yeah, I just went to the lake, and we were driving back yesterday, and I was in the car with some guys, and Sam was in there, and they play Minecraft a whole bunch,
Mhm.
and there's a realm that we play on, and
Yeah,
they-
not our world, not
yeah.
our classic OG gangster world.
And they always just like jokingly make references to Minecraft with everything. Like we were out on the lake, and one of the guys, he's like, "You know how this lake was made?" We're like, "No, how?" He's like, we thought we were gonna say like some kind of dam or something,
Mhm.
and he was like a 2x2 with with 2 water buckets. We're like, shut up. So there's
Dude,
always
that
just
would, that would take a long time.
yeah, bro, for real. But it's stupid stuff like that. And we were driving back yesterday and kind of on like a country road, and I was just looking down at my phone, and then Sam was in the passenger seat, and he was like, "Oh, look at that hill. That's a nice hill."
Oh no.
And then the guy driving, he looked at it, and then Sam was like, "Oh, look at that!" He'll point out the passenger window. He's like, "That's even nicer." The guy driving, he looked over, and he was like, "Oh man, if this was Minecraft, I'd totally." And then we hit. He ran off the road because there's like a cutout in the asphalt, and his tire went down in there, and he whipped it back, and we were like going. And we were around, and everyone was like holding on.
The idea of just like, man, if this was Minecraft,
like literally those were almost his last words. And there were skid marks all along the road. It was hilarious.
It's like one of those commercials that show like the last text someone sent before they got in an accident.
That's what
it's just their last thing they said, dude. If this was Minecraft.
But we legit almost rolled. Like the car was rocking while we were swerving back and forth, but he got it under control. And then we that's so stupid. He wasn't. It's not like he was on his phone. Yeah, he was just saying, "Dude, look at that hill. If this was Minecraft, I totally built a house up there." So dumb. Almost
How
died.
How old was this driver?
He's like 20, I think. So,
dude, if this was Minecraft. No, I was just thinking of this since I briefly mentioned our old world. Do you guys remember 8 Dark Skulls?
Yes, of course. How could I forget? Do you not remember?
No, Huber, you.
Oh, you have to remember.
Huber.
Dr. Pepper, dude. Was that you?
No,
that was Jacob.
Yeah, Jacob was Dr. Pepper, dude. Huber was Bogart 19 at that time. He was building people's houses for a diamond.
Yeah.
And he sold out our basement to like some random stranger.
Oh yeah, we came in and there's some random hobo in our basement.
In our enchantment room, and we're like, and then it's like Bogart said I could live here. We were 5-star. We were the 5-star clan.
Dude, capitalism.
We stole a bunch of wool from that server.
My favorite part of that was the classic painting secret room.
Yeah, well, the thing is, it's funny,
has one.
I remember we like did it like 5 times in the basement. It was
you get through a painting and you're like, oh, secret room, but another painting, and
on
you
the
just
wall.
Keep going.
But I remember we tried to be discreet, and, like we just put up like a couple paintings, but most of the paintings were, oh, that's gonna be fun. The AC just turned off in here. It's gonna get warm.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I just heard it turn off.
Yeah.
But, no, what I remember about 8 Dark Skulls, like, very vividly, besides our house, I remember the spawn room.
Yeah.
Where it was, like, stone tunnels, and you, like, drop down. It was, like, keep telling you the rules as you, like, drop down each little level.
Yeah, I remember that, too. And there was, I think at one point, there was some kind of button you'd press that teleported you out into the world, and I was, like, mind blown, because I didn't even know you could do that. Like,
dude, but that whole server was so much fun because I still remember this. Like, no offense, Hubert, you've gotten a lot better now, but back in those days, you were horrible at building houses. And I remember I walked by this dumpster fire of a house made entirely of regular wood planks, like
just a box.
It was like
3x3.
You tried to have some structure to it, but it was like really weird, and it just said. There was a sign on it that says "Built by Bogart 19," and I just lost it. I was like,
yes.
"This dude."
At what point in your life did you realize the internet was like something you could use, like Google, for instance?
Oh, dude. Okay, so I actually had this happen so many times.
So many times.
Yes, because
he discovers Google every day.
Amnesia.
The reason is
tough,
the reason is.
Water is gifts God demand, man.
There was some GameCube games like I got stuck on and I never finished because I just didn't have it.
Like if you got stuck on a game, you're just that's it.
No,
when
you got stuck on a game, your best bet was to go to Walmart, try to see if they had the
strategy
guide.
Yeah.
See if they had the strategy guide, not buy it, but just flip through to find where you were. Like, but GameStop, they always shrink wrap theirs, and so you're like.
I think the first game was Majora's Mask, and I was trying to find all the masks, and I didn't know how to do.
That's hard even with Google.
I didn't know how to get some of them, and I never completed the game until I don't know. It's been a little bit now, but I was like, oh yeah, I can Google that.
Yeah.
How to get X mask, and then.
Well, like it's so interesting. Because, like, I probably, when I was playing video games when I was younger, I probably knew the internet existed. Like, I'm pretty certain I did.
Right.
I just never put 2 and 2 together.
That you could actually use it for, like, regular stuff.
And that's because, like, before, like, you got to remember, when we were younger, the internet was, like, for Flash games.
Yeah, Flash games, Club Penguin.
Yeah, or like
Yeah.
even some like Flash animation stuff.
Yeah.
Like it was.
That's so true. Like, if you didn't have a URL, it's almost like you couldn't get anywhere, is what it felt
Yeah.
like. I guess I didn't even realize I could Google Club Penguin instead of typing
Going
in clubpenguin.com.
clubpenguin.com.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was the thing. Like, and when we were younger, we thought www meant something.
Yeah.
we thought
Turns out, that's
turns
useless.
out, turns out,
Turns out.
it's HTTPS. That's
Yeah.
important.
://
Yeah.
www. Why?
Because I remember all those commercials that were like for Club Penguin on Disney Channel or whatever. It was like, check out Club Penguin at www, and I'm like, wait, I missed the commercial.
Yeah.
What was it?
Dude, before DVR.
Yeah.
No rewind. No.
Well, the thing is
rewinding,
that like
pause.
it was funny.
Rewinds.
So my household, as you guys remember, my family was like one of the last ones to get cable. Like we used public access TV forever,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it wasn't until like 8th grade that we got cable.
Dang, really?
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And so we finally got cable, and we got Dish Network, which is not the best, but it was sure better than just
Yeah.
PBS Kids and PBS. I mean, granted, I got to watch Home Improvement all the time. That was
Dude,
I-
Tim Allen.
Yeah, I love that show. And so like we finally got cable, and then there was this brief time when we switched to DirecTV, and we had DVR functionality.
Yeah.
It broke us. We were ruined by it.
Yeah. Once you go, you can't go back.
Because it was just like,
Mhm.
oh, I'll just record it. And then it wasn't a thought anymore. And like we would record movies that like Fox would have on, because you know
Yeah.
Fox always like plays movies, and you're just like, or FX.
Mm-hmm.
So we were like, oh, they're playing probably Taken. Probably the
The
Taken.
Martian.
The Martian.
Record it 50
you
times.
mean the best movie of all time?
Yes.
Don't you dare, Daniel.
There may or may not be like 20 copies of The Martian over in that drawer.
Yeah. So actually, let me talk about that real quick before we start getting into our actual topics, because believe it or not, we do actually have topics.
We do.
So my last trip to pick up some of the package. I'm trying to keep it vague in case.
Yeah.
You know, they don't
Oh man.
So what it was is I was at the bargain bin, you know, looking around, diving around.
Of course.
Oh, and basically, for those of you who don't know, and hopefully there's no way my dad's watching this. Please, this would ruin everything. But basically, I'm trying to buy my dad as many copies of The Martian as possible.
Your dad's just with his
Yeah,
ear
yeah,
up
just-
against the door.
Door full opens up and it's,
He's got like one of those little hearing things. You know what I'm talking about?
no, he just has a glass to the door, just like. But so I was at Walmart, and they recently have been having it in the bargain bin, the cheap one too. So like,
Dude, it's getting good.
plus $3.75, and like, you can't really beat that. Honestly, so like I went through, and I think I found this last time I went. I think I found like 5. I think it was 5 or 6, one of the two. And so, but the thing is that I always am so. I don't know why. I'm always embarrassed grabbing multiple copies.
Self-checkout.
So what the thing was is that I went at a time at Walmart where there was like actually workers in the back, and like the bargain bin's right next to the electronics checkout area, and there's just this lady that's just sitting there working, and I'm just like, and I hear like heist music in my head, like
Yeah.
like the Mission Impossible theme, and so like, I try to play it. Every time I find one, I put them in like in a stack, and once I'm pretty sure I gave up, like I just kind of made sure no one was looking. I just scooped up them all and walked, and I'm like I'm not even going to the big self checkout area, like where there's like 6 or 7 registers at once. I was going to one of the individual self checkout lanes
Jeez.
I was like, dude, I'm not risking it. And I walk up, and I'm like, oh, we're in the clear. And I scan the first one, and it goes, unknown item authorization needed. And I was like,
That's the worst thing you can see at a grocery store.
and I'm
Yeah.
like, no. And this girl who's like probably only a year or two older than I am is like, oh hi. She was like, oh hi. And I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm trying to like hide the other 5 copies. Like, yeah, it's not being authorized. She's like, that's weird. And she's like, oh, and for some weird reason, the barcode like thing for the Martian like messed up, and so like this is the barcode, and then there was like this little bitty bit of barcode to the side.
Okay.
And she's like, just cover this up and scan it and it'll work. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, are all of these doing? And she turns and she grabs the next disc and holds it up and goes. And she looks down and she goes, why are these all the same? And I was just like, just run.
Stop that man! He's got 5 copies of The Martian.
Break through the window.
Yeah, there's literally the doors open.
Yeah. But so what happened is I explained the story to her and she goes like, oh, that's sweet. It's like, well, make sure you keep the receipts so you can return them. I'm like, I don't think you get the joke. The joke.
So you can return it. You obviously don't understand.
You don't understand the joke. The joke is you can't return them.
There's always a trash can.
Dude, I'm tempted to get them framed, like in a huge frame.
No. Make it all look like The Martian.
Like all look like
yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not getting that many copies of The Martian. What the plan probably is going to be is this one right here is like the deluxe edition with like extended footage. So this one's like different. Footage. So this one's probably going to be like in the middle, and then it's going to be like tribal circles around it.
Oh my gosh.
Of the smaller ones. And if Matt Damon's ever in Atlanta for any con or anything like that,
you're his biggest fan.
No, I'm going there with all the copies and going, sign these! And I'm like, promise I'm not selling them, just sign all of them.
Yeah, seriously. I saw some picture the other day of, it was some guy's basement, and he had a big shelf just lined with copies of Shrek. And I immediately thought of you when I saw it. Dude. It was just literally shelves and shelves of, like, it was VCR.
Really?
Shrek VCR.
So, like, was it just Shrek 1 or was it
Yeah, I think it's just Shrek 1.
Dang, that's really just like Shrek.
Too many copies.
All right. Let's move into our first topic. Have you heard about this, Daniel?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So basically, Huber, why don't you introduce this story since this one affects you the most?
So there was some a simple way of explaining it is Ninja basically switched to Mixer because Microsoft bought his streaming rights. And
what does that mean?
They gave him a deal.
Yeah, they said okay, so you stream for Twitch, come stream for us. We're gonna write you this. Nobody knows the deal. No, they're not. No.
This didn't get leaked like the Apex deal.
Yeah.
Like, but
oh wait, is Mixer Microsoft?
Yeah, Mixer is.
Microsoft's
so
streaming.
basically,
okay.
I looked into this because I didn't know what Mixer was either. I knew it was an app in the Xbox.
Everyone knows now, so it works.
So the thing is, well, like I knew it was an app on Xbox because like it's always like every time I go to the store, it's like download Mixer.
Oh, is it the one with the record player looking thing?
I think it's record player.
Probably is.
I'm gonna look up the Mixer logo real quick. But I looked into this. Hold on. Mixer logo. It's the one that's like, it's like a circle.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
With like I've seen this before on the Xbox. It's like, oh, get it. So I've been seeing it around. And apparently I looked into it because I'm like, what is Mixer? And apparently it used to be a streaming service independent called Bean.
Okay.
And then Microsoft bought it and switched the name to Mixer.
Much better.
and then it's just like...
Bean.
But and it's interesting because I just want to know how much he got paid.
Dude, he had to get paid bukus
Probably
of money.
a year's worth.
But you have to realize... He, like, Ninja claimed that he would make $500,000 a month on Twitch.
That I wonder if he still makes that much or if that's gone down some.
With Mixer, you can literally just watch people stream and you earn points toward being able to give streamers money. You don't even have to pay money to give.
But the thing is that from what I can tell, Mixer And if not Mixer as a whole, Ninja definitely is getting a better cut of his revenue.
Oh,
Probably.
100%. Twitch takes a lot.
Well, what is it? The best you can get is 60% of your
60-40.
revenue.
Wow.
Yeah, 60-40 split of your revenue. And so, like, the thing is that if not in the entirety of Mixer, I'm pretty sure Microsoft probably like, dude, we'll just give you all
Yeah, right.
of your revenues. Like, we just want you for numbers on people on our platform.
Mm-hmm.
We'll give you 100% of your revenue stream, and then this huge check.
Yeah, for real.
Like, dude, I'm just thinking, I'm like, because he got paid $1 million to play Apex Legends.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty funny.
How much do you have to pay the man to, like, basically switch his entire livelihood?
Right. I know that is crazy. See, and it's interesting, like, I don't know how I feel about it, because people always are, and, like, that's my initial reaction, too, for any of these platforms, like YouTube, Twitch. People are excited when there's competition.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's kind of annoying because, say, I like watching Ninja
split, yeah.
and some other people. Now I have to have two
Well,
apps on my phone, and I have to, you know what I mean?
It's sort of like what streaming services have become.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the thing is that it's great that Netflix as competition has to like up their game, but I'm so pissed off that like
You have to split.
I have
over it,
to get. There's the Hulu, and then there's Netflix if I want to keep up with some other shows. There's HBO Go.
Yeah.
There's Disney's about to launch their streaming service this
Oh,
fall.
no.
And it's just like, and I'm just like, dude, can you all just like shake hands and just release like a mega package that's like $20 a month, and
Right.
I get all of you.
Yeah. I
Like-
know it is annoying because it's like there's definitely downsides to having a monopoly, like with YouTube, how we're seeing the whole.
Oh, well,
AdPod
yeah, with
website.
the ad pod.
Mhm.
Yeah,
But it's so interesting because YouTube's in a spot right now where I don't think they can be taken down.
no, I don't think
Like
so.
I don't think any. I don't like. I mean, as much as I love, like I'm. There's a ton of different like video playback websites that are independent and they're good and they're rising up. I don't think they're ever gonna.
Yeah,
even
I don't know if they.
scratch the surface of.
Yeah,
what-
I think they're just too deeply embedded. They've been there from the absolute. They're just like the complete total name of video
Yeah.
streaming
But
online.
but the thing is that people were saying the same thing about Steam before Epic Game Store came in.
Yeah, but I
Peop-
mean, now everyone hates on the Epic Game Store from what I've heard because apparently they like.
Well, the thing is that what people are getting. So Epic, what they're doing is getting exclusives
Mhm.
or timed exclusives. But what is pissing people off is that they pre-ordered the game on Steam and they
Okay.
weren't. And so like there was the whole like I think that happened with Metro Exodus that came
Mhm.
out recently, and then that happened recently with Borderlands 3. Because
Yeah.
Borderlands 3, they like announced it, and everyone's like, "Of course I'm gonna pre-order," and so everyone was pre-ordering it. But then it's announced to be like I think a 6-month Epic Store exclusive on PC, and it's just like,
And that's definitely like that's the type of thing that irritates me, especially like on my computer because now
yeah,
If
then
I
now you
wanna
have
play-
a different launcher and stuff like that.
That's so annoying, and then you have a whole bunch of different folder directories with all
Yeah, and
and then I don't know, it's just and you have to learn all the different interfaces and
yeah, and like, but the thing is that, I mean, for things like Blizzard games and stuff like that, like, I just don't know why the Epic Game Store is the one that's like really grinding my gears, because right now on my PC over there, I have Steam, I have Origin so I can launch Apex,
Mhm.
and then I have Battle.net set for Hearthstone and Overwatch, and like those don't bother me that much because most of them are just like these are our exclusive. Like I see them less as a game launcher. I see them
Yeah.
as like in this example an Apex launcher, a Overwatch launcher.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, granted, it's still the same thing of multiple file directories, but like the Epic Game Store is like when I open it up, it's just like bang.
Yeah.
Here's everything we got, and I'm just like, oh.
Give me Fortnite.
I came here for Fortnite.
Fortnite.
Now, speaking of draining tons and tons of money on things, Huber, our gambling addiction that is fairly recent.
Crippling.
I love it.
I've heard nothing about this, so
So in GTA Online, they came out with a new DLC. By the way, all their DLCs free.
Yeah, that's actually really awesome. You just have to sit through like a 10-minute cutscene when you open the game,
Yeah,
showing you like
that is the issue. But it's called the Diamond and Casino DLC, and it's just it's a casino essentially, and you can buy a penthouse in the casino, and then that unlocks missions for you to do for the casino, blah blah blah. But in the end, you can actually spend your in-game money to get chips, yeah, and then you can spend those chips to get more chips, either to buy clothes or what else can you buy? Buy clothes, and then those chips can be transferred into money if you get enough. And then there's horse racing, but it's digital horse racing, so it's not outside.
Yeah, it's not
you
like
sit in front of a screen.
Literally. No. What was it?
Literally what it was.
2 nights ago, literally, I think for almost an hour and a half straight,
Yeah.
Huber and I's characters were watching digital horse racing and gambling. I'm like,
That's
come
so
on!
stupid.
It's great, dude.
It was, and we would and it was funny because there was a lot of people doing it, and then Huber would like stand in the middle of the screen,
point at my horse.
He's like, "This is my horse."
Oh, you're in there with the other like online?
Yeah. There's some like NPCs that are just in there, but there are like you can tell which ones are real players. The ones with like a Jufro clown, afro, and just.
So if you like play poker, are you against other people?
You can play.
That's pretty fun.
Yeah. What do they have? Blackjack,
poker.
3-card poker. They have slots.
Yeah, slot
the digital
machines.
horse racing, and they have roulette.
Yeah.
There's one more table game they have, and I can't remember.
They have a wheel that you can spin for free.
Well, if you're a member of the club, you can spin it once per day, and you have a chance at winning a really nice car. So
dang, every day you're hopping on there.
That's like 1 in 20 chance.
So the thing is that what was so you. I don't know why. I just decided I was going to go all in. So when I went to the cashier, I just converted as much of my money as it would let me into chips, which was about $20,000 worth of chips.
Yeah. Okay.
And he was like, oh my gosh. He's like, Canaan, what are you...
Wasn't that like all your money?
No, it wasn't all my money. That was, you know how the cashier like stopped letting us trade in chips and stuff like that?
Yeah.
That's basically what happened. She was like, no, you can't buy any more chips. Was it 20,000?
It's 20. It's 20. That's the cap. Yeah.
That's stupid. You should be able to.
Well,
just
no, because how much?
do it all.
Huber, what's the max you can bet on horse racing?
10,000.
Is it 10,000? Basically, I got 20,000, and like I did like some light horse racing stuff.
Yeah.
And I was just betting like normally. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going all in. And I said, Noah, pick my horse for me. And I named him off the list. And the horses are all like funny names, like a minimum wager, tax the poor, and just stuff like that. They're all these like really funny names. And Noah Davis said, go for minimum wager. And I'm like, well, he has a 1 in 16 chance at winning.
Oh my
and
gosh.
I put $10,000 on him. He won the race, and I got $140,000 back.
Oh my gosh!
And I was just like,
you guys had been going nuts when they're coming around the bend.
So what happened? I was going nuts, but the thing is that it was like 10:30, 11 o'clock. My parents' room's right there, so I'm just like
silent screaming,
and I'm like, oh, and then towards the end of the night, I tried to lose all my chips, and I couldn't lose all my chips. I played slots, and I was betting 2,500 chips at a time. But right when I would get near the end, I would win 7,000 chips, and I'm like, I'm too good at gambling. But then I played one hand of blackjack and lost all of it went away like that.
All in.
And it was high. And it was like, darn. Well, I had an ace high, so I was feeling a little confident. And then she like flipped it over, and she had the ace high as well, but then she had a king as well.
I just last night that's funny because I hopped on Red Dead for the first time in forever, and played poker in one of like the saloons for literally like an hour and a half. It's against NPCs.
Yeah.
But I just sat in there and just played poker.
Just bowing.
Yeah. There's a shootout, and if you lose, right?
Yeah, you could, but I tried to play mostly honorably, except I did want this sheep cloak that you can get if you find a perfect a sheep with a perfect coat, and I could only find them inside these pens at a sheep auction in this one town, Valentine. And I was like, oh, I need one of those. I don't know how I'm going to get it. Because there are always people around.
No, it's like, I need one of those sheep.
Oh, sheep. And so
Sure,
when it was night and I ran over there and I opened up the gate and they all went running out. And I got on my horse, and you can herd the sheep if you're on your horse. And so I herded it just far into the countryside.
Yeah.
I got out and shot it. And then it said witness. It was like witness. And I looked, and there's a guy on his horse. He was like, oh my God. And it said animal cruelty. And I was like, oh. And I skinned it real quick, and the police were coming. I rode off, and they were investigating it. But yeah.
The horse is just
The law.
Dude, I would love it. I would love it if in Red Dead. No, I would love it if in Red Dead it was just legit cop cars.
Yeah, GTA cop cars.
Yeah, speaking of which, Huber, you and I got in trouble with the law a couple times in GTA. We got,
Of course. That's
yeah, of course.
necessity.
I was in a high-speed chase driving a tractor.
I was about to say, I was like,
High
wait
speed.
a minute.
Well, it was funny because like they weren't catching me, and I'm just going. And eventually, what happened? Oh yeah, there was that hacker we came across.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was this. We were trying to do a mission, and this hacker kept on like, well, right before we had to deliver 2 chemical trucks for
Cocaine.
I was about to say for medical reasons.
Medicinal purposes.
But yeah, so we were trying to do it, and literally like right before Huber could make it, he made it. Thankfully, this guy was like shooting at him, and and this guy was wiping us out, and we're like, and Huber's like, I think he's a hacker. I'm like, what makes you say that? And like he kept on killing us, and then he just straight up spawned a jet right there and just flew away.
Something
But like
tells me.
the jet wasn't smoothly flying; it was like. And I'm like, I don't see any problems here.
He wasn't a friendly hacker. I was trying to get him to. Drop
He was trying to get some free money off him.
He wasn't having it.
No.
No, he made my game crash. So.
Oh, jeez.
He made my game. Yeah, he made both of our.
You'll run across some nice hackers that'll just drop money until they get kicked or banned.
Yeah.
With a saint.
What a
It's pretty nice.
bro. What a bro.
I spent that's how I got most of my money. Bought a bunch of stuff.
I got most of my money from horse gambling.
That's true.
Dude, it was so.
That's what I'm gonna do tonight, probably.
Dude, see you at the Diamond Casino, bro. We'll squad up.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, it's funny. It sounds so stupid and lame, but until you just
Until you experience it.
well, because like the thing is, it's not like exciting, but it's just like you just zone out and you're just like fully focusing, and the horses aren't even well rendered. Like
it's terrible.
Like you know those like horse racing games like at arcades where you have to like spin and they like move at like 10 frames per second.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and you're just sitting there and you're just like mindlessly staring at him. We're like, come on.
So stupid.
And like they always make the races super close. They'll have one horse blow out in the lead in the beginning, like ridiculous amount, and then all the other horses catch up.
Yeah.
And then like so basically you never want the horse you voted for to be the first one to blast
Yeah.
out, because you might win, but you're mostly your chances have gone down if you're the one that just blasted through. But we're just sitting there like, come on. And then you see your horse right near the finish line starting to slow down. You're like,
No, don't you do
I
it.
swear I'll take you out back.
I'll finish you off myself.
You're no use to me.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What's next? Sheriff of... I don't know if that's how you spell Nottingham. I didn't know if it was 1 T or 2 T's.
I have no idea. I think it's 2, but...
So basically, as you guys know, on my birthday, my parents were planning on getting me Sheriff of Nottingham, but they like couldn't order it, which I thought was weird because I've seen that game everywhere I've been. And so like I went to Walmart, they didn't have it there, and it said it was gonna come in like first week of August. Well, no, it said like it was some ridiculous time, and so I was like, I checked Target, they didn't have it. I was like, oh, that's weird. Is this game like going? The Amazon seller that my parents purchased it from, it said out of stock. We'll inform you when we get back in stock. Then my mom got an email just saying, yeah, we're no longer selling it. And it's like, what? And then she found another place, and it's coming in tomorrow, allegedly. And so after all this fiasco of trying to find this stupid game, I was at Barnes & Noble yesterday, and it was just, they just had one on the shelf, and I was like,
There you go.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, for real.
You gots to be kidding me. Gots to be kidding me.
What is the game about again? It's like Secret Hitler, right?
No. Sheriff of Nottingham, the way it works is I don't know what the player limit is, but basically what it is everyone's a salesman, a market dealer.
Okay.
And there each round there will be a sheriff of Nottingham. And what you do is you have these little pouches and you put cards of what you're bringing in, and it could be stuff like apples, bread, cheese,
Meth.
let me get
Is this on the border?
silk. Well, here's the thing. So like, there's contraband items like silk, pepper, crossbows. I'm like, whoa, that
Okay,
is
that's
like,
crossing the line.
and so what you do is like, for example, let's say you were the sheriff, Daniel,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, in my bag I have 3 cheeses. Now, the only thing I'm not allowed to lie about is how many cards are in the bag. I have to tell the truth on how many cards are in the bag.
Okay.
So I can't be like, 1 cheese in the stacks.
Yeah.
It's just, you have to tell the truth on how many cards are in there, but you could lie about everything else.
Okay.
And so the sheriff would go like, I believe you, and like lets you go through, and you get money for all the cheese that you, or all the good stuff you get in, and then you get a little extra money for all
Yeah.
the bad stuff you get in. And you may think, what stops the sheriff from just opening it? If the sheriff opens the bag, he personally, out of his own pocket, has to pay you, like, he has to pay you like this compensation money. And so like, if you have a sheriff who just keeps on opening packages,
Gonna be broke.
he's gonna be broke. And so your goal is to try to get the most money. And it's so funny because I was playing with a group, these were a couple people from GGC, and they were the ones that like showed me how this game, and I'm like, this is hilarious, because one guy's like, I have 4 chickens. He's like, you have 4 chickens? And he's like, yeah, 4 chickens. And he's like, I don't believe you have 4 chickens, because you, at the beginning of your turn, when you're putting things in your bag, you just randomly draw cards from this like random deck. And like, you can keep some cards, but he's like, I don't believe you have 4 chickens. Like, open it, I have 4 chickens. And he's like, I'll let it slide. And so like, we're going to the phase where all our bags have gone through and we're all opening them, and then the guy who claimed to have 4 chickens just pulls out 4 crossbows.
Oh my gosh.
And he goes, thank you, sheriff. And like, there was always these shady deals like, yo, sheriff, I'm the sheriff next round, I won't look at your bag if you don't look at my bag.
Yeah.
And like, then he slips him like a tenner, just like,
Let's keep this between us.
I won't look at your bag if you don't look at my bag. And it would just be like, okay. And then that deal happened later in the game, and then the person backstabbed him, and just and then just because if you're a sheriff and you catch the contraband, you make bank.
Oh, okay.
Because it's, you stop it, and then you get like a compensation for catching the
Yeah.
So like, the next round it's like, all right, dude, you remember our deal? He's like, yeah, I do. I'm opening your bag. Flips it open and just
4 chickens.
It's all contraband. It's just like,
Whoa.
and he's like, bro, and he's like, welcome to Nottingham.
Enjoy your stay.
Enjoy your stay in Nottingham.
I don't know what it is about games. Same with because you talked about running cocaine.
Yeah,
in
dude, it's so
GTA.
fun.
In games, like
Doing
illegal things or
is
like
so
running
much
drugs
fun.
and stuff, like Altus Life.
The opium.
Yeah, the opioid fields.
Golly.
Oh my gosh, or like
I remember I woke up so early one day, got the huge tanker out there.
yeah, because
filled it
no one was
all
online.
up. Yeah.
Well, like,
Dude, that's so fun.
Dude, it's because I believe it's because humans are naturally bad people, and
Yeah.
games allow us to
Yeah.
express
that out because of stuff we'd never do,
Yeah.
but it's still like, it's exciting. I don't know why. Well, I guess because like everyone in their daily life can go work
Oh yeah.
a regular job and do whatever, but who's gonna go and to a field to get chased by cops
Yeah.
with a tanker full of opium flowers? So
Well,
yeah,
time to
that stuff's
harvest
always
those
fun.
too, and then we found that one guy.
Yeah, but he worked with us, so we had a convoy just out in the desert with
We
drugs.
shot that one dude who was selling his.
Oh
opium.
crap! Yeah, we were up in the windows, and there was a drug dealer in an alley. Me and you were up in the windows waiting, and this guy pulled up, and he got out, and we're like, took him out. We might have had silencers, I can't remember. And he had so much money on him.
Yeah.
Dude.
We stole the opium. He had them too.
Yeah.
We got the
Oh
money
my
and we got
gosh.
the opium money.
That's
So I'd be so mad.
Well, I'd be mad too.
That's what you gotta check the perimeter, bro.
always gotta check your perimeter. Dude, oh man, like, what are other games that we do horrible things then that we can't do?
Oh gosh. Almost every game I play.
Yeah.
Red Dead last night. There's after I killed the sheep and got a $5 bounty for animal abuse. I was like, wanna
$5.
$5?
That's like
can't
6
afford
months
that.
savings.
I wanted to steal a stagecoach,
Mhm.
and you can steal them and go take it out to a ranch, and there's this one
Yeah.
dude that'll buy them from you. And so I found this one canyon. It's like a total cowboy movie, like you'd think. There's this canyon cutting
no.
through, and so I got up on the cliffs, and there's just a small trail going through this canyon. And I was up on the cliffs, yeah, and had my binoculars, and in the distance, I saw a wagon coming. I was like, all right, get ready. And I had my horse up on the ridge, yeah, and they came around, and I slid down the hill and got behind a rock, and they came around the corner, and you can yell out to them. I was like, hey, stop right there. And the guy was like, not a chance. So I went with his horse.
Not a chance, go.
And so I was just like, and shot him. I didn't want to kill him, but I had my bandana on. So,
So you were invisible.
yeah. So, yeah. So invisibility potion. No, but it keeps your, you don't lose as much honor when your identity's hidden.
Yeah.
And so, and I killed him and hopped on the carriage. And some dude was behind him on a horse, and he went running away to go alert the police. And I got out my sniper, and literally for 7 seconds, I was trailing him, and he was so far away. And I took the shot, and he fell off his horse. And I whistled, took my horse followed me, and sold the carriage and stuff. But it's just doing stupid stuff like that. It's so much fun.
That's the great stuff.
Red Dead, it's so much like a movie. Oh my gosh, it's everything you do is so cinematic. It's so awesome.
I wish it was on PC.
Yeah,
I mean,
it might be eventually.
Well,
Who knows?
eventually, but
dude, I remember what it was. It said all the different console versions of Red Dead Redemption, and it was Xbox, and it had Red Dead Redemption, it had PS4, Red Dead Redemption, and then Switch, it was just Super Mario Odyssey, and then it said PC, and it was just a YouTube video of someone playing Red Dead Redemption.
Honestly,
Yeah,
but it's and everything is so. It's great. I've never played any game that's as polished as it is. It's unbelievable.
well, Rockstar in general, their games are stupidly polished, because everyone was saying the same thing about GTA 5 when that first came out.
Yeah.
And hold on, that game is 6 or 7 years old.
Oh yeah,
pretty old.
it's aged really well.
Dude, it's ridiculous.
Their DLC's interesting.
Well, they release DLCs
Not often.
it's 2 a year though.
Yeah, it's they had.
They had last year they had the nightclub DLC,
Yeah, that was.
and then they added in December they added some DLC. I can't remember what it was, but then we got the casino, which dude I'm betting it all on
Minimum wager.
no D's. There was a D's horse. I can't remember
It
what
was
his
a
name
D's
was.
horse, yeah.
It wasn't D's nuts, but it was D's something. Yeah, I'm betting it all on D's. Dude, and it's just fun, and here's the thing, Huber, we're having so much fun with it, but we haven't even dabbled into the custom online games, those
racing and stuff like that.
yeah, the racing, custom game modes and stuff like that. Dude, it's just
I've done a few races.
it's just one of those games that's just it's just so I mean, Rockstar is just really good at what they do.
Yeah.
And can't wait for GTA 6 whenever that comes
The
out.
plot actually got leaked for that, apparently.
It's false.
But it's false?
Yeah, because it was similar to another leak that came out a long time ago that was proven false. It's just this one, more recent one, got more traction. Now, granted, we don't know how false it is, but we basically what it was. You're talking about the one that went through the decades.
Yeah.
They thought it was going to take place in in multiple different cities.
That's yeah.
But it was also said it was going to take place in different time periods. And so you would see the buildings change throughout time. and they never specified which time periods, but they just said like the buildings would age, and so like everyone was like, oh, but I can't remember how, but that was falsified somehow. But dude, who knows? No one knows what Rockstar's doing. Like everyone knows everyone knows what they're doing, but no one knows what they're, because everyone knew they were making Red Dead Redemption 2,
right?
But no one knew what they were doing. They were just
they keep it under wraps.
Yeah,
pretty well.
and then, dude, like, and it's. I mean, they just... What do they do after GTA 6?
GTA 7.
Well, because
Red Dead Redemption 3.
Yeah.
Well, because that's the thing, like... Because, I mean, granted, they've done other games. Like, they did the Bully game.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, yeah, for me, and I guess it's just, like, obviously it's personal preference and, like, the kind of entertainment you like and stuff, but I totally prefer the setting of Red Dead Redemption more. And I don't know why, but like I don't know, I just the whole cowboy thing is way more fun to me than I guess because like I can drive around in the city anytime.
Yeah,
I like the cars in GTA. I like driving a car I know I'll probably never drive in real life.
Yeah, and like that's the thing. I think Red Dead Redemption appeals to me more as a single player game, but GTA 5 appeals to me more as a long term game.
Oh, okay,
if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I see myself with Red Dead Redemption, if I ever got it, playing through the story and then just being like,
dude, I'm 28% complete with the story.
But yeah, you haven't been doing the stories, have you?
No, I just get on and like the main thing I do is hunt. It's the most fun because you can find every animal. There's a legendary type somewhere on the map, and there's only one of that. And you have to like track it down, and you get special clothing from it. So it's so much fun.
No, I saw this one. I can't remember who it was. There's some celebrity that said like, dude, I'm playing Red Dead Redemption 2, but not playing he says, I'm fishing.
Yeah.
He said, I just spent $60 on a fishing simulator.
I haven't even started fishing
and
yet.
He said, legit, I will come home after a long days of work, turn on my Xbox, and fish for like 3 hours. He says, I don't know what's going on in the story, but there's a pond that I haven't been to yet. And he's just... And like I feel like that's sort of the appeal of Red Dead Redemption. It's just like you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But I'm very objective minded. I'm like the guy that's like, we're doing this.
Okay, yeah, because I don't know. I end up like I totally just, especially for the cowboy setting, like role playing and stuff. Because how I set up in the canyon and doing all that stuff, and I'll make up stories and go with it just because I don't know, that's entertaining to me. But it's been so long since I played the story part of it that like I almost don't even remember. I'm so disconnected from that. I haven't been to my camp in ages. They probably think I'm dead.
They're probably dead.
Yeah, honestly.
You know,
died of what is it?
Dysentery.
Tuberculosis.
Dysentery, bro. Crap in your pants to death.
Great way to go.
That's how I want to go.
Yeah. I can
like
agree.
that or a bullet to the head by myself. Self-inflicted bullet wound.
Jeez. One or the other, really, I'm okay with.
Yeah, it's like
either or.
Give or take, depends on the day. No, dude, gosh, I'm like, I've never been more awake, but I shouldn't be, because I want you guys to take guesses on what time I went to sleep and what time I woke up.
You went to sleep at 7 and you woke up at 8.
That's what I was gonna say.
I'll let you know that I have to get up at 5:30 in the morning.
You didn't sleep last
night. You went to sleep at 3:47 and woke up at 5:30.
Daniel's right.
You didn't sleep.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That's
crazy. You just gambled all night?
I gambled for a bit, but that's not what I did all night. I did a fair bit of some horse racing. No, but like what it was just, I just went down, like I was just sitting there and I was just trying to sleep, but I wasn't being able to sleep, so I was like, maybe I'll just throw on a video to so the thing is, I sleep better with some sort of white noise, whether it be music or videos, but usually videos work better because when it's music, I pay attention to what song it is, and if I don't like the song, I'm just like, it like keeps me awake. So I was like, you know what, I'll just watch some YouTube, and I ended up watching, like, I think probably last night alone I watched about like 4 hours of Yogscast content.
Oh my gosh.
Mad Cat produces like some pretty good.
Dude, I love his compilations. They're so hilarious.
They talk about him on like streams and stuff. So like,
dude, no, yeah, it's just this guy that makes Yogscast compilations, and like Yogscast, they're pretty great. On their Christmas live stream last year, they watched like 18 minutes of his like 100% Salt and Rage compilation. And then I was like, well, I have to watch the rest of the 100% Salt and Rage compilation. So like I like watched that, and I was just like, dude, I just went through it, and then I look at the clock and it said about 4:30, and I was like, we're past the point of no return. Like we are at the point where it is more beneficial for me just to tough it out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then I toughed it out and just watched content and stuff. And so I took a shower, went to church, and I was fine. I was just fine. I felt a little drowsy on my drive home, which during like the monsoon of rain.
It's free.
Dude, if this was Minecraft, I would...
Dude, we were dying laughing afterwards. Like once we were
once you were safe.
Once we weren't dead.
Dude, you just all right. So you reminded me of two different things. First off, so we have for church. We had the band, and like the band usually during second service, the band usually just sits in the auditorium, and we have tables in the back, like little tables with little high chairs, and that's just for people who don't want to like walk in the aisles and like distract people. They just kind of like walk in and just sit in the back. So usually our band sits back there, and so the message ends, and he starts praying, and he invites the band forward, and I'm looking up on the stage, and I'm like, there's our drummer, there's our lead singer, there's our electric player, there's our backup vocalist. Where's our bass player? And I look, and his name's Kyung, and he's doing this number.
No,
oh man.
And I had to walk over to him, and I went, Kyung, and he's like, what? And I'm like, I point to the screen. And
Dude, the panic he probably felt.
and then he just ran up on stage, and you could just tell while he was playing bass, his eyes were just glazed over, and just like,
jeez.
And it was just, I just felt bad for Kyung, but when you were talking about, might as well just like at least I'm not dead,
Yeah,
sort of thing. So my sister had a friend who recently just got married.
Ooh.
Oh.
Wait, is this the guy? Is it the David guy?
No.
Okay.
No. These are old friends from our church, and they recently got married, and their honeymoon was in Bali.
What
Okay.
Bali? Bali? What's
Bali.
that?
It's like an island. It's I don't know where it is. I know it's an island.
Bali.
So they were going to Bali, and it was just like, and we were all, and everyone was super happy for them. But the thing is that her husband is diabetic.
Ooh.
So he needs to take insulin shots every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But because of traveling and stuff, and it was a long flight, as soon as he landed, he was like swollen up, like, and it was, and so they were already like a little miserable. They're like, okay, it's like he's swollen, and it was just, and they were just upset. I think it was either their first day or second day. They rent mopeds and got in an accident, like a really bad accident.
Oh my gosh.
And legit, because they didn't want to deal with the hospital situation over there, they just took their plans and ended their honeymoon early and came back. And turns out they both had like broken bones in like their legs and their feet.
Holy crap.
And they're like, and so it was, so the thing is you got to realize, I saw pictures from their wedding, and then they were gone, and then I didn't see them for over a week. And so I'm like, oh, how was everything? And they're like, oh, wedding was great, honeymoon not so much. And so like, of course, I'm like,
Oh.
what happened? And then she goes, well, and she starts off, and then she says the guy's name, and I was like, did he already do something stupid? And so I'm like, how do you do something stupid so quickly? And he's like, oh yeah, blah 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 is diabetic. And I'm like, oh, and then she explains the whole story. I'm like, what? she's like,
Jeez.
she's like, yeah. And I'm like, so what are you guys gonna do? And she's like, well, that's it. That's the honeymoon.
Guess it's time to start life now.
And I'm like, that sucks.
For real, dude. I'd be so triggered.
It's just like, well, the thing is that we know don't trust any mopeds on any island.
No.
We remember they were keep on trying to get us to rent them at Nassau. They were like, oh, moped, and we're like,
no thanks, no thanks.
Brand new electric motor.
It's electric.
I remember a lady is like, I can't remember who was with me. She basically assaulted me and whoever was with me and like tied these bracelets and tried to sell them to
yeah.
Is that you and me? Yeah, she was like,
little schoolgirls made this.
yeah, she's like little.
Oh yeah,
and
she did that to me
like,
too.
She like jumped on it and like started. And I'm like, I don't have any money for this. And she's like, no, it's not much. $2. I'm like, no, I legit have no money for this. And then she just looked at me and just ripped it off. And I'm like, is that like assault?
Yeah, for real.
I'm like, are there like, I don't know what the rules in Nassau are, but is there laws against like just going up to people and just?
I thought about yesterday. Actually, I was thinking about the dude who came up to us or told us to follow him, who is selling authentic Ray-Bans.
Yeah, dude.
Oh
in
my
Oakley's
gosh, yeah.
for like $5.
And then he was in like, even though like that whole place was, he was in like the sketchy part.
Yeah, and
that.
he had opened up a drawer and brought out a box and opened the box, and they were just like these plastic baggies of knockoff Ray-Bans and Oakleys. Yeah,
Dude, do you remember the lady who was selling the crack pipes that got onto Hunter for like keep on looking at the because the crack pipes were famales.
Oh yeah.
And he kept on like coming to show people like, dude, come look at this. and so he kept on like coming back, and she's like, will you just buy one already? Oh, dude, that trip was so much fun.
Yeah.
That was.
Dude, remember the dude? I've mentioned this to you. Do you remember the dude that every time we saw him, he was wearing less and less clothes?
Yes.
My man.
Like the first time we see him, he's in a full white suit. Then he's just like in casual attire. Then he's in a swimsuit, and we're thankful we didn't run into him.
Yeah.
Again. We're
Next time, who knows?
like, who knows what?
That guy was awesome.
Motion of the ocean.
I can't remember what his name was, but
I don't know.
Oh no, I don't remember. The only name on that cruise I remember is
who was our waiter?
I don't remember his name, dude.
I remember BK, but that was it. Like he was one of the like.
Bang Bang BK.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Dude, I
Bang
remember-
bang. It
well,
was
so,
BK.
so the thing is that I was sitting there,
Stupid.
and I can't remember who I think I was with Huber when they like when they introduced and gave us all the clues.
Yeah.
I looked at Huber and I said, "It's the gun. The gun killed him, or whoever it was. The gun was the weapon." And I know that. I was like, I know that for a fact. And I explained all my evidence. Like, this is why it's a gun. And I'm like, I just don't know who had the gun. And then when they revealed that it was BK against Bang Bang BK, I was like, it was under our noses the whole time. Bang Bang BK.
And the gay
Yeah.
trip master, whatever his
I
name
can't
is.
remember his name.
Kevin.
Oh,
Kevin.
Kevin, yeah. Kevin.
Dude, it's like, good morning.
Good morning, compers.
Dude, we got a picture with Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was like during one. I think it was the captain's dinner when they like everyone.
Yeah.
We were just like, get a picture with Kevin.
Go get Kevin.
And then when we got the picture with the captain, he was so short that the girls had to like
Yeah,
Yeah.
like kneel
down just so he would look normal.
Dude, I still love that because I think it was Cal or JB. It was like Hunter said like, oh look, the captain and Cal or JB just went like looked like at the ground, and they didn't look sad. They were just like, they just looked at the ground like, oh, is he down there? Dude, that whole cruise was. I know it's highly unlikely, but one day we need to all save up some money and just the boys
Revisit one more time.
go back, and maybe Cal will finally win that claw machine. I remember he was like done with it. He's
So
like,
much
I'm done
money.
with it. And then that lady in the elevator is like, oh, I just won this.
Oh, dude.
And he's like, oh, it's on.
Instantly re-triggered.
He's like, oh, it's on right now. Goes back in there.
Gosh,
Hunter got
yeah.
kicked out of the casino. Like
I got kicked out.
I love it that he like looked
That's so
for
stupid.
you. He looked past all
Everyone
these
else,
people
yeah.
who were
He's like,
underage.
you at the back.
Like he looked past
Me?
all these people who were too young to be in there. I think like Cal and I were, like it was me, Cal.
I think it was just you two, I think. And maybe JB.
I don't remember, like, but it wasn't like most of us weren't allowed to be in there.
Yeah.
And like except I know Cal and I for sure were able to be in there. But he looks past all these people who are way too young to be in there, and it's like, you.
So dumb.
Get out of here.
And then like, oh gosh, Hunter got in so much trouble.
For real. Just over and
Because he
over.
kept on going back in.
Mm-hmm.
He'd like wait like a minute and then go,
Maybe they're gone now.
he'd wait a minute and then go right back to where he got caught before.
Yeah, for real.
And it's like, Hunter, just lay low.
Yeah, that was a fun trip.
When do you go back to school, Daniel?
I go back the 11th.
Oh.
So, next Sunday.
3
When
days before
so
us.
sometime during this week, we need to record. We need to record.
I think that's it then. Thank you for joining the Scatterpot podcast. My name's David.
My name is Canaan.
And my name is Daniel.
Where can they find us, Huber?
You can find us at the Scatterpot podcast on YouTube.
Yes.
They can find us at Scatterpot podcast on SoundCloud, and then all the other places.
SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google
all
Play.
that good old stuff, and then
Nope.
Scatterpot
No. Scatterpot _
podcast. Yes, at whatever the other site is, right?
Instagram.
Instagram, yes.
Right.
Whatever that other reminds me. I need to post a picture on the Instagram for this.
So again, thank you for watching.
Coffee.